Now everybody, I've been fumbling around with this for a while because it's been a while since I've used Htaccess, but this is the last step of what we're doing here, and it's just a complete and total brush over. We're going to do things different when we start making websites, but I want to let you know that this is available now. Htaccess files are not exclusive to PHP, but with PHP, as I've said before, and Apache files, we get to make things the way we want to make them, and that's one of the reasons why I love PHP so much. The only thing is with htaccess files, it gets a little nasty at times, and if you do things wrong, it could be a complete mess. Now, if you go to htaccess files, you can get a look at these little guides and everything, and they'll tell you how you can create htaccess files and everything like that. And what they do is they kind of give you clean URLs. Like, we were at one point doing this. Now we only have to do this. At one point when we had the original site, what was it called? We were able to do that. Now we only have to do go like this. We only have to put in the word and not the whole thing with the .php and everything like that. We got rid of it. And what you have to do is first, when you have to go to your control panel, and you have to go to configure. You have to go to configure, and you have to go to your httpd.config file. And what that is, and I don't like to mess around with this thing, but we're going to do it anyway. All you have to do is go to this line right here, directory, allow override, change it to all. It will by default say none. So we change it to all, and then what we do is we go to the main file, and you create a new file, and you call it .htaccess. Now I've already created one, so I don't need to create another one, but you would say .htaccess. You don't put anything in front of the dot. You just say .htaccess. And at that point, as you can see, I was working with it already. This is how you comment things out. You use double pound signs, and it looks similar to this. It's the same thing, more or less. This is what you're doing. You're overwriting all of this that has already been done. And as you can see, it's got a little bit of XML in there where you have like these tags and stuff inside the tags and whatever. But this more or less tells the server how things have to go. And right here it says you can customize your error responses. We can use htaccess to customize our error responses this way, where we can say error document in here, like this, error document, and then you say like 500, and then you put a space, and you put like your folder in there. The only thing is that this hasn't worked for me. Well, I don't have any folders now, but it hasn't worked for me, but you're supposed to be able to do that. We're going to use more PHP to do rewrites, but what you also want to do is you want to open with options plus multi-views. And that just basically is telling it that all these different pages are going to follow the same rules that you're recreating here. Let's close that up. So now when you have that, you can make all of them look like another third, and stuff like that. Then you want to put in rewrite engine on. And when you say rewrite engine on, what you're now telling it is this rewrite, and like we're going to start making our own rules to rewrite what these URLs look like. And then we say rewrite base tutorial / tutorial / that's where it is. Then you have to put in the rewrite condition %, request file name, and then space, exclamation point dash F, exclamation point dash D. And the reason why we say this is because it wants to like look for the file name and then the directory. Like we're just telling it to look through the directory, the file name, and then at that point we say, we give it the basic rewrite rule. We have dot star, meaning everything after more or less, like this is just a regular expression. So we're looking for a dot star. We're going to kind of eliminate that dot PHP thing. And we're more or less basing off the index. Now this should actually help me with this. I don't know why this is the way I keep getting, like when I do the update and I go like this, like it kind of wants me to go update. Like if I go like this, that shouldn't be. Like this should say, I shouldn't have to go I equals 35. That's why I did this. But for some reason that's just not working out. In fact, this isn't even working out for me. I'm still saying that. But again, we're going to use more HTML rather than Htaccess. Like for instance, with Htaccess, you can also do things like you can have certain login information, a login. What do I have to go like this? No, that's not working either. But let's just go to the third. But as you can see, we have like, now we just have slashes and no dot PHPs, whatever. We eliminated that with all of these different rules that we put in. And again, this is that it accepts, that it looks at things literally. This is a bunch of, these are all just a bunch of, this is like, it's not case sensitive, you know, NC, not case sensitive, literal, you know, like all these different rules and everything. And you can look it up online, or you can have a creator. I've never actually used a creator. But you can have like an Htaccess generator where you just say what you want it to do with the 301s, the caching JavaScripts and images. Like this is all stuff that you can do with Htaccess files. Again, we are going to do this in a different manner. We're going to use PHP more to do this kind of stuff. But I just wanted to show you that there is an Htaccess file, how to use it, where to put it, and just the basic concepts of how to get your URLs to look like this, because you don't want people going to something that looks like this, because then they'll know you're using PHP and everything like that. So it's more for your protection and anything like that. But again, just a brief overview. I didn't make a full Htaccess file because we're using a virtual server that we would have to reconfigure, and I don't want to get into all that. We want to make our own thing, and like I said, we're going to use PHP to do all this, as opposed to doing it ourselves straight up from Htaccess, because Htaccess is kind of nasty. We will be using Htaccess files, but it's more to look for certain things in PHP when we start making our site, which, by the way, we're not going to be doing right now. This was just a straight up, flat out tutorial on people that didn't know anything about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. This is to get you started for when we do start creating our website. And I'm going to kind of decide on what we want to do, what we're going to do. But it's going to be maybe a week or so before I come back to doing these tutorial videos and we start making our site and we start making frameworks and everything like that. I will be constantly working, constantly streaming and whatever on my other channels. So you can always look at them, CD the Bookman, CD Bookman Gaming, CD it's on Switchman, and I'm going to change up my other channel. But until I see you next time, I hope this was enjoyable and I hope it was informative. And I will see you for our first website that we're going to work from scratch together.